Sup Minecrafters, SirRobHiFi here, and welcome to my storage facility tutorial. I'm going to show you all the elements you need to put this together, and I'm not going to build the entire thing. But the first thing you're going to want to build is the item elevator itself, and I'll link to a tutorial from JL on that. So once you've done this part and built your elevator up into the sky, you're going to want to come out from the center at least 17 blocks minimum, probably more depending on the type of filters you end up using and where you want to put things. But from the very center block inside there, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 to this line here. And then the 18th block in is where we're going to set up our floors for this. So you've got 3 wide lining up with the elevator, then it goes to 5 wide, and I drop down a half a block to a solid block. Then another half a block to a slab, and then another half a block to another solid block, and again to a slab. And that brings us to where we're going to put our first double chest. And I'm going to start off with a normal chest, and you can put trap chests alongside them like that without worrying about them connecting or anything. Now above this I'm going to put some upside down stairs. Get some of these. And to do that, I'll put a block above first. And the reason I put this level upside down is because when you're looking in from above, once we've put this second set of chests in place, you'll be able to see why. Because you're looking down onto the top of the block and you can see it, so it looks better this way. And on the front of these you'll be putting your item frames. So the bottom row will have no filters at all, and this second row up is going to be the lowest set of filtered and sorted items. I'm going to put another upside down stair here, and then get rid of that, a couple more frames. And once we've got those first 2 rows going, then we're going to come in. We're going to inset a block in, right? A couple more chests, and from here on we can put the stairs right side up. All right. Then we go to the next set of chests. Couple chests there, 2 trap chests, couple stairs, and inset again, couple chests there, couple trap chests, and now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of chests, and the last set of stairs, and then whatever you use for your ceiling will come in there. So just throw in some frames. That's basically what it's going to look like, right? And you're going to come along here 12 rows of chests, right? So that's the basic layout, and then you mirror it on the opposite side. And I specifically chose 12 just because of the way certain items group up, and it worked out well for me. You can do it any way you want. You could just have one long corridor if you like. But here's the version I prepared earlier. Same exact thing. And the next thing you're going to do is go around the back, and you're going to start placing some hoppers facing into the chests, not above the chests, right? So let's put some hoppers into the back of the chests here. The bottom row is going to have 2 sets, right? These next ones, just put a couple hoppers in each row here, right? And from here on out, I probably won't build any more on camera. I'll just show you with my pre-built version here exactly what's going on. So we put in these two chests, the two hoppers here, and then we're going to put two chests, double chests on top of that hopper for this bottom filter, right? And you've probably seen these filters used before. It's pretty standard. You've got a chest feeding in and another chest above it. The comparator signal, once you reach a certain threshold of items in this hopper, it'll send a signal out. If there's anything in it, it'll send the signal 1 block. But if there's more than a certain amount, it'll send it 2 blocks, and the signal, well, that's the wrong way around, but yeah, the signal gets put through this block and into the torch, and then turns it off. So that's the first layer. You can see all of that, right? The orange wool indicates where the hopper pipe is going to be at the end of the build. So you don't have to worry about that for now, but it's very important that we avoid interacting with it. Like if this was any lower above here, it would turn off these hoppers and they wouldn't work. So the next filter up is going to go from the hopper, double chest again, hopper, chest, hopper, double chest, and then you're going to build another filter right there. Then for the next layer up, you're going to come single chest, hopper, chest, hopper, chest, hopper, double chest, coming out this way, and build another filter. And for the final set of chests, which is the very top row here, you're going to come up chest, hopper, double chest, and that's going to mirror and come in towards the center. This is the very center of the storage room, and that lines up with the center of our elevator, so that you can then mirror the same build to the other side. Right, so hopefully that gives you enough information to replicate all of this, and this is all one wide tileable up to this point. Now there is a major flaw with this type of filter. So if you go over a certain threshold, say for example the chests are all full down below here, this will start filling up, and then the signal that comes out of here will go down to this block, and then it will crosstalk with the filter next to it, which will then turn off the torch and empty all of these items from here and completely break your filter system. So to fix that problem, I've got a second type of filters up here. And this is not one wide tileable, this is 2 block wide tileable, so you need a set of 2. You've got the ordinary filters here, which are going to this side instead of that side. And from here, I've just brought the stack way up, high up out of the way. And the reason for that is because if you want to have a lockable filter, which is what this is, feeding in, you need a lot more space. And if you were going to use all of these, you'd end up with a huge build. But what you can do is combine some of these with the ordinary ones. So for certain items like dirt and cobble and netherrack that you may end up with many double chests full, you're going to want to be able to lock the filter so it doesn't crosstalk. And you could just take the filter up and out of the way and use an ordinary filter. And when it fills up, the items would just continue along the pipe where the orange wool is right now, and it would no longer go into it. But if you want to put multiple of these next to each other, say you've got your cobble next to something else like dirt that you're going to have a lot of, you're going to want to have a couple of these that can lock so they don't crosstalk here. So to do that, I've taken a signal from this chest. If I just break that for a second and show you, if you keep an eye on the light above here, if we put in 60, 64, and then another 59, the torch stays off, but once you go to 60, it turns on. And that's because the signal is being pulled through this block into the comparator, goes 2 blocks into this block, and then the torch inverts it, sends it back, and then it's inverted again to this torch, which then locks this hopper, and it can no longer take in any more items. Right, so everything will stop coming in there, and it won't overflow. To be able to put 2 of these side by side, you need to, on the reverse side of this, do it slightly differently. You take the signal, instead of through a block, directly from the chest into a block, and that powers the redstone below, which then goes 2 blocks into this block, and it does the same thing. It inverts, comes up to this one, and then we bring the signal back into a block, redstone dot, into this block for this torch. And I've put a glowstone right here so that wherever you are on top of this, the block light is no lower than 9 here. So mob proof it. So that is 2 wide tileable lockable filter. And as you can see, to be able to fit lots of these in, you need a huge amount of space. So for the very bottom layer, you have to come out quite far, because as you can see, where the orange wool is again, this is where the pipeline is going to be, right? So you'll have the hoppers coming in like that across the top of the filters. But if it was any closer to these torches, it would be, the system wouldn't work, right? So you need that space there. Same exact thing above. There's a block of air before you get to there. Same thing here, and then the top is not affected by anything. So that is the lockable filters. I'll give you one more look around the other side of that so you can see this side of it. The standard filter on that side, and the signal coming out and around here. And these blocks here are just to stop the redstone connecting, right? Now, that is all of those elements. The thing that happens first when all of your items get to the top of this elevator, on this version, I've got it set up for multiplayer so that you can have multiple people throwing in many stacks of items, cobble, netherrack, everything. And we've been using something like this on ZipCrowd's server. So the items come into the stream here and they get picked up by this hopper. Once that's full, they flow over to the next hopper and so on around the circuit. And the idea I had was to send them around and round in a circle, because if they went through all of these hoppers and they were all full, they would end up at the end of the line and just despawn. So if you continue the circle, they get a chance to come back around, and once this hopper is now emptied, they can get into some slots as they open up and keep going around. As long as they open up within the 5-minute despawn time. So all of that stuff, there's many different ways of setting up all of these hoppers, but they basically all feed into a tower of chests and hoppers, which can then bring them down, and that can handle a huge quantity of items. And all you have to do from there is basically send these down into a single line. So for example, you might have them feeding into your pipes this way, and they would come along here, and then they would reach the first set of filters, and you would continue that around so that it goes over this top set of filters. And then each time you come to the end of a chain, like for example this one, you would come out, come around the corner, probably a bit further out than that, and then continue over the next sets of filters at that level. And you just continue that around to all of the filters on that level until you've done that level. Then you come down to the level below, right? And then again run more hoppers along this line, back around, looping all around the system until eventually you'll get all the way down to the bottom level and feed into these unsorted chests at the very end. And that's basically it. If you've got any questions or need anything explained in more detail, please say so in the comments. The other thing with the heights here that I should add as to why I've done things a certain way, the pistons down here, you can hear them all firing off if you're closer than 16 blocks. So that's why I've put it that far below my main floor, so that I can be standing here and I won't hear the pistons firing all the time. I want a nice quiet storage room, you know? And the same thing on top, so I have all this system up here. If you're going to use any kind of dispensers or anything, it's nice to have them high up out of the way. Because also, the other thing I plan to do with the system is with the smelting room and the potions room, all of the items coming through here, I want certain things to go to the smelting room by default. For example, sticks from the witch farm. I want to power the furnaces with sticks, and if I have all the sticks coming from this chest set up here down and through a filter for sticks, then I would have a threshold of maybe, I don't know, 6 double chests of sticks or 10 double chests of sticks, whatever I want. And once that's full, I would use one of these locking filters, and the rest would then make it around to the normal storage room, and you would find it in the stick chest, right? The same thing with the potion room. There's certain things I would only ever really want in the potion room, like gas tears. They've got no other purpose except for making potions, so I'd send all of that stuff to the potion room by default, and the overflow would end up in the storage room. Alright, so I'm going to leave it there, guys, and see you in the next one.